I can't
Great,
see
great.
you, but I can hear you.
No worries. You'll be able to see everyone else, hopefully. And we will go ahead and get started with questions if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Perfect. Start with Mookie.
Damian Harris, Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080. Welcome to Buffalo.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to meet you.
No doubt, no doubt. Roll Tide and all that good stuff. But what made you choose Buffalo?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I chose here. Obviously, it's a great organization from top to bottom, from ownership to the management to the coaching, the players, the entire staff. I feel like the transition into a great organization, it's just obviously so appealing. The trajectory of this organization, kind of the momentum that this team is building, it's all appealing. It's all something that I wanted to be a part of, and something that I feel like I could come in and help, with whatever the goal is. We know what the goal is at the end of the road. But I want to just be able to come in and help out the best way that I can, and that's my role. That's my job. Whatever is asked of me in order to help this organization be more successful and, just to continue on the path of success, that's my role, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
Absolutely. And I know there's always, questions going back and forth. You have some questions with the Bills, and obviously they have some questions of you. But what were those questions did you have with GM and coach concerning the run game? And what improvements would you suggest?
I'm not a man of many questions. I like to sit back and observe. And, I've done that for a while, obviously having played against the Bills, multiple times in my career. So, I know what this organization is about. I know what this offense is about. And I know what I can also bring to this offense and what I can bring to this team, not only as a player, but as a competitor and as somebody that just has a desire to win and somebody that just will do, whatever it takes to help this organization be successful. That's what I'm about. I don't have any type of, suggestions. I'm not coming in here, like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? I'm just coming in here to, be a part of this organization and immerse myself fully in this team and, do everything I can to be a Buffalo Bill and help this team be successful.
Good job, my guy. Welcome to Buffalo.
Thank you.
Hey, Damian, Catherine Fitzgerald from the Buffalo News. Good to meet you. You've had some success against the Bills, obviously, in the past. Is that something that came up in your conversations with them about like what they saw in your game specifically in those meetings?
Well, I'll put it like this, talking to the organization, the people in the organization, the coaches, the management, I always said that playing against the Bills, I felt like brought out the best in me as a competitor and as a player. And, from the outside looking in as an opponent, if I felt that way, then I knew that if I was able to join this organization, I feel like it could just take it to a new height. So, that's what I'm about. This organization has always found a way to bring out the best in me, as an opponent. So I truly believe that now that I'm a part and, I'm a Buffalo Bill, I think that it'll just take that to a whole new level, because like I said, this organization is really starting to pride itself on success and togetherness and, everybody being together to achieve one common goal. And, that's who I am. And that's the type of person that I am. And that's the type of player that I am. So in this organization, like I said, it's always, for some reason, when it comes to the Bills, I've always had my best game. So hopefully we can keep the momentum on that going.
Why do you think that was of having, those great games?
Well, I think it's, again, just a testament to the organization. I mean, this is a team I know that whenever people, line up against the Bills on Sundays, they're going to play their best game. You know what I mean? So, it was no different for me as a competitor. When I saw the Buffalo Bills on the schedule, I knew I had to be at my best in order to, have success against a team like this. So now that I'm here, I feel no different. I feel like I have to be at my best to help this organization continue to move forward.
Free agency can obviously be so different for everyone with like just working through uncertainty, seeing what's out there. What was it like for you? Just what have these last few days or week or so been like?
Man, it's been relaxing, to be honest. I've been down in Miami training, just enjoying some warm weather. I've been down there with my girlfriend and my dog, and we knew that God had a plan for me and he had a plan for us and, for what was going to happen. And, when that was the case and, I knew that there was some interest between me and Buffalo and, I knew it was a possibility. So amongst other teams, but, I prayed about it and I left the rest up to God. And I just been enjoying my time. And now that I'm a Buffalo Bill, I'm going to be enjoying my time even more.
A good approach for sure. Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes, good afternoon, Damian. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
Man, I couldn't be any better. How are you?
Good. You look like you're happy. You're happy to be in Buffalo. And my first question
is it the smile that gives it away? Or
yeah, it's the smile, enthusiasm, and everything. Look like you can't wait for training camp to start in the whole 9 yards.
You said it, not me.
All right. First question is, were you looking at the different teams and did the Bills and talking to Buffalo, obviously they can't guarantee you a certain amount of carries, but is it some idea that, hey, you will be a part of the offense, an important part of the offense coming this upcoming season?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think I'm here for no reason. I think I know why I'm here, and I think this organization knows why I'm here, and I think that Bills fans know why I'm here. But I know that everything I get in this organization, I'm going to have to earn from right now until the end. I'm going to have to earn everything that I get. I'm going to have to earn every carry that I get. I'm going to have to earn every opportunity to step on the field and, show the world that I can do my job and play for this organization. So I know that that's what it's going to be. And, I'm looking forward to showing up every day and doing everything that I can to prove myself and to also, like I said, do everything I can to help this organization be successful.
Absolutely. Second question, do you think the position is undervalued overall, across the league overall? Because when I was growing up, O.J. Simpson and the guys, they were the stars. The running backs were the quarterbacks of the game today, where the quarterbacks are the stars today. Do you think the position is still undervalued league-wide for the running backs?
I think that's a relative question. Because if you ask me, I think it's one of the most important positions on the field. So to me, it's not undervalued. I mean, opinions across the league, I mean, you can say some people think so, some people think not. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's got a job to do. And my job is to show up and play running back. And that's what I'm going to do, regardless if somebody thinks that, I'm undervalued or people like me too much. It doesn't really matter. It's just about the fact that I got a job to do. And that's to be the best running back that I can be, the best teammate that I can be. Transition to being one of the better leaders that I can be. And again, just doing everything that I can to help this team be successful.
Absolutely. Last but not least, I'm a fan of the running game. I grew up with the running backs being the
I
stars.
Can tell.
Yeah, so I'm glad you're here. And do you prefer inside the tackle running, or out, so you don't mind jumping it to the outside? And what's because I notice you Alabama guys, you Derrick Henry, you guys like, pounding that football, pounding that inside.
It don't matter to me. It really does not matter to me. Whatever, my job is to, like I said, go out there and play. And it's not to call plays. It's not to talk about, coach, I want to run this player. I want to do that. I'm here because I trust this organization. And, they're always going to put us in the best situation to be successful as players. So, I don't have a preference. Whatever Coach Dorsey calls up, whatever they call up, I'm going to run it and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
All right. Thank you very much for your time and look forward to seeing you at training camp. Welcome to Buffalo. Welcome to the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, Damian. I'm Elena Getzenberg. I cover the team for ESPN. It's nice to meet you. Welcome to Buffalo.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I was curious, Catherine kind of asked you about your free agency process and all that, but after 4 years kind of on that rookie contract in one place, was there anything you were really looking forward to in this time kind of opening up, and was it what you expected pretty much, or was there anything maybe that surprised you about it?
I mean, I was definitely excited for free agency just because, just the idea of it, becoming a free agent and then, kind of having your pick of teams and, having a say in as to where you go. It kind of felt like college recruitment all over again, so it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Nothing really surprised me. I think, if anything, just how relaxed you have to be in the situation. I sat up here and talked about how, I was so poised and I was so calm. I definitely had to fight the thoughts of oh my God, what's my life going to look like in a couple days, or where am I going to go, or what's going to happen? Like I definitely had to, fight off those thoughts. But I'm glad that I did, because it kept me in such a good headspace that, whenever this deal was done, I felt like I didn't even really have to like take a deep breath or, a sigh of relief, because I never really felt any pressure to begin with. So I would just say that, the biggest surprise is just, the mental fortitude that you have to have, the ability to just, like I said, just kind of like relax yourself and just like, it's all gonna be all right. God's got a plan for us all, football or not. So, just keep that poise, just keep that, just that faith. I think that that's what surprised me the most.
For sure. And then I was curious, you mentioned that, you're obviously familiar with this offense. You've seen it plenty when you played against the Bills and all that. What specifically, like when your skill set, you mentioned, what you bring, what do you think you specifically bring to this offense?
Well, a competitor that is going to play his butt off down after down after down, not just when he has the ball in his hands, but, whatever I have to do, whatever my role is, whatever I have to do to help this team be successful, that's what I'm going to do first and foremost. From a player standpoint, again, I'm a big physical guy. That's a little fast, that can make people miss sometimes. I like to be an all-around back that can do it all. So, again, you're just getting a hardworking guy that's really competitive, that loves to win, and that will do anything that can help this team win.
Last one for me. I was just curious, do you now think you look forward to playing the Patriots twice a year? Is that like something that is exciting? I know it's far away, but is that like exciting? Like something you think, because you get to play them twice, is that like exciting to see people, or how do you think that'll feel?
Well, first of all, this is my first day here. So I'm still trying to get my bearings. But no, it'll definitely be exciting to see a bunch of familiar faces and people that I got a lot of love for, and a lot of great relationships that I've formed over the years, over the past 4 years. It'll definitely be great to see those familiar faces twice a year.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Catherine again. I wanted to follow up someone just kind of, what you see in the run game here. I know you obviously said you're not trying to come in and change what the plays or anything like that, but Buffalo obviously, like, their offense, a lot of times it is pass first. They're always trying to build up the run game more, but is that exciting for you of like I'm someone who can make a difference here as they're trying to figure out what exactly their run game looks like? Like, what is that like of, coming into a situation like that?
Well, like I said, I know that I'm here for a reason, and the coaches, they know that I'm here for a reason. And at some point, that reason it'll be obvious to the world. I can't X and O it too much right now. I know that we got a great quarterback who can do a lot of things. So just being able to work the run game with the pass game, or be able to play alongside of Josh, and Steph, and Dawson, and James, and Neha, and all these guys, just being able to see what we can all put together. I mean, I know that a lot of these pieces have been here, for some years now, but I'm definitely excited to come in, and I feel like I could be a piece that could definitely help this organization and help it move forward. So like I said, I know why I'm here. These coaches know why I'm here. I think the fans know why I'm here. So at this point, like I said, I know it's my first day out here, but there's going to come a time where it'll be time to go to work, and whenever we put all these pieces together.
Is that exciting from the standpoint of someone who's really competitive, of knowing that there is like of feeling that reason even before you've been on the field with these guys, if that makes sense?
I'm just excited to be here. I'll be honest. Like, you can ask me if I'm excited about anything, and I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm just. You see this right here? Let me see this. This is what I'm excited about right here. So, yes, to answer your question, yes, I'm excited.
Very fair. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
DH, back again. What were your thoughts? Your first day, in Buffalo, obviously you just been in the building all day. What were your thoughts on when you first seen that state-of-the-art weight facility that the Bills have in there?
Man, it's beautiful. And it's beautiful, it's attractive, and it's definitely something that I can see would make guys, pull guys together, pull guys into, into the building and keep guys around. I think that was the point of it, to have a great workout environment, a great, great facilities, great resources. That way guys want to be here. That way guys want to come into work and know that they're going to be taken care of from a training standpoint, from a recovery standpoint, from a workout standpoint, from a being coach standpoint, from a teammate standpoint. It seems like all the bases are covered. And, I think that this, the beautiful facilities that we have are just a testament to trying to bring everybody together and, trying to get the work put in that needs to be done in order for us to get to where we want to go.
Now, you are a very fortunate guy. You had the opportunity to be coached by two of the greatest on all levels, and Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. What have you learned from both of those guys that helped you this far?
Wow. I feel like I should be able to write a book with all the knowledge that I've gained from those two. I would say just the things that I've taken from both of them is how to be a professional and how to conduct yourself in a professional manner, from the way you show up every day ready to work, the mentality that you have, the way that you affect others, and then obviously the way that you prepare and the way you perform. Professionalism, I feel like it covers so much ground and so many different things that that word is really just kind of what resonates with me. I feel like with Coach Saban in Alabama, he started to introduce me to what it means to be a professional and how to become a professional. And then once, I got to New England, one thing that Coach Belichick was great at teaching was how to maintain that level of professionalism. That way you can maintain success throughout your career. So, I want to be a pro's pro. I want to do everything the right way. I want to positively affect my teammates. I want to be a positive light in the locker room, in the organization, and I want to help us win. So, that's, to me, that's what being a pro is, because everybody has a job. Everybody's got a job to do. And my job is to come in here and be a pro football player and to do that to the best of my ability.
No doubt, my guy. Just make sure you come in here ready to tear it up.
Come on. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
That's all the questions we have for today. Thanks, Damian.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Peace.